What if I told you there's a country so remote that reaching it can take weeks? And feverton 50 people live there, a place with no airport, no cities, and no neighbors for thousands of kilometers. This isn't a lost world from a fantasy novel. This place exists. And it's called the Pitcairn Islands. Lost in the vast South Pacific Ocean, Pitcairn is one of the most isolated, inhabited places on Earth. To give you some perspective, it's closer to Antarctica than to any major city you've ever heard of. It's a tiny volcanic speck, a single island with a population smaller than your average high school classroom, surrounded by nothing but the endless blue of the ocean. So, how do you even get there? Well, you can forget about booking a flight. There is no airport. There are no hotels, no restaurants, no traffic lights, and definitely no crowds. The only way to reach Pitcairn is by ship, a long and arduous journey that starts from French Polynesia and involves days of crossing the open ocean. When you finally see land, you're not welcomed by a bustling port city, but by towering volcanic cliffs, the crash of powerful waves, and a profound, almost unsettling silence. The island's main settlement, Adamstown, is the only village, and it feels more like a small, scattered neighborhood than a capital. Today, fewer than 50 people live on Pitcairn Island. They all know each other by name, and many of them are related, sharing a handful of common circles. This island is more than just a remote community. It's a living time capsule, a direct link to one of the most famous and dramatic mutinies in maritime history. To understand Pitcairn, we have to go back to the year 1789. On the other side of the world, sailors aboard the British ship HMS Bounty staged a rebellion, led by Fletcher Christian. They mutinied against their captain, the infamous William Bligh. After setting Bligh and his loyalists adrift in a small boat, the mutineers knew they were fugitives. The Royal Navy would hunt them to the ends of the earth. So, they fled across the Pacific with their Tahitian companions, searching for a place where no one would ever find them. They found Pitcairn. As luck would have it, the island was incorrectly marked on British naval charts, placing it hundreds of kilometers away from its actual location. For the mutineers, this cartographical error was a miracle. It was the perfect hiding place. To ensure they could never leave, and that their ship would never be spotted, they made a drastic decision. They ran the Bounty ashore and set it on fire, watching it sink into the bay that now bears its name. For the next 18 years, the world had no idea that anyone was living on this remote, uncharted island. They were ghosts, cut off from everything they had ever known. Over time, a small, complex, and often violent society formed. The descendants of those original mutineers and their Tahitian partners are the people who still live on the island today. Eventually, in 1808, an American sealing ship stumbled upon the island by chance, and the incredible story of the Bounty survivors was revealed to a stunned world. Pitcairn officially became a British overseas territory, but its deep isolation remained unchanged. Life here operates on a completely different set of rules. There are no chain stores, no fast food joints, and no police force in the traditional sense. The community governs itself, with a small council and an elected mayor. The island has a single school, which at times has had only 1 or 2 students. There's a small clinic run by a trained nurse, but for any serious medical emergency, a patient has to be evacuated by sea. A journey that can take days or even weeks to arrange. Everyone depends on everyone else for survival. Imagine a life where mail only arrives a few times a year on a supply ship, where your groceries are limited to what you can grow in your garden, catch from the sea, or what's been delivered on that infrequent ship. Self-sufficiency isn't a trendy lifestyle choice here. It's a fundamental necessity. The islanders are resourceful, skilled in farming, fishing, and mechanics. They have to be. And yet, despite the immense challenges, people stay. Why? Because Pitcairn offers something that has become impossibly rare in the modern world. Absolute peace. It is a place that is raw, rugged, and breathtakingly untouched. There are no crowds, no traffic, no constant hum of city noise. The only sounds are the wind, the waves, and the calls of seabirds. Here, the ocean surrounds everything, and nature dictates the rhythm of daily life. The stars at night are so brilliant, they look close enough to touch, free from any light pollution. But this unique isolation is a double-edged sword. It brings peace, But it also brings profound challenges that threaten the island's very future. Medical emergencies are a constant worry. The population is aging, and with few young people staying or moving to the island, the number of inhabitants has been steadily declining for decades. The community is shrinking, and with it, the collective knowledge and manpower needed to keep the island running. So, the question is no longer just about how Pitcairn managed to survive this long against all odds. The real question is whether it can survive at all. Will this island, with its incredible history, remain inhabited for another generation? Or are we witnessing the final chapter? Could Pitcairn become one of the first modern places to be completely abandoned by humans? Its story fading back into the silence of the Pacific? The Pitcairn Islands force us to rethink what a country or a community really is. Is it defined by its population size, its economy, or its location on a map? Or is it simply about the spirit of the people who refuse to leave, who hold on to their home at the edge of the world? Because here, life continues quietly, stubbornly, almost invisible to the rest of humanity. This was only the beginning of Pitcairn's incredible story. There are so many more layers to uncover the dark secrets of its early settlement, the unique language that evolved there, and the controversial plans for its future that no one talks about. To dive deeper into all of it, make sure you visit our channel. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.